Hey there YouTube, Speedrobo here. I've been wanting to make a luck and logic video for a while now. I've also wanted to start doing some more card design analysis videos on this channel. With the recent news of luck and logic being discontinued in English, I figured this would be a perfect time to kill two birds with one stone and talk about what went wrong with luck and logic. A bit of a disclaimer here. I recommend being familiar with luck and logic before watching this video. So just read the quick start guide. The link is in the description. Also, I did stop following luck and logic after the second booster set. However, what I'm going to be talking about in this video are the core mechanics of the game, not the cards in the game. Luck and Logic was an ambitious little card game from Bushiroad meant to be competitively focused. However, the game had several flaws with some of its core mechanics. These issues resulted in a tug of war within the game itself as these mismatched ideas tried to do too many different things at the same time. The two main things I'm going to be talking about today are the win condition and the battle system. Before we jump in, there's some terminology I want to explain first. During this video, I'm going to be referring to material. Material means the resources within the game. The two main resources are stock and cards in Luck and Logic. I will be referring to material in terms of points, and the relationship between points and resources is 1 material point equals 1 card in hand, equals 1 card on the field, equals 3 stock, equals 1/2 of a TransUnion. The 1 card equals 3 stock comes from the game itself. During a player's turn, the turn player may pay 3 stock to draw 1 card. This firmly cements the relationship that 1 card equals 3 stock. 1 TransUnion equaling 2 cards comes from a game mechanic as well. In order to put a TransUnion into play, a player must use 1 Foreigner and 1 Logicalist card. This means that 1 TransUnion costs 2 cards to put into play. Now that the terminology stuff is out of the way, let's get started by talking about the win condition in Luck and Logic. At the start of the game, each player places 6 gate cards face down. The object of the game is to destroy all of the opponent's gates. To destroy a gate, a player must simply attack it with a member after removing any members protecting the gate. These gates are reminiscent of shields from Duel Masters, but with one big difference. Whenever a player destroys a gate, something good always happens to their opponent. This is the equivalent of every shield having a shield trigger in Duel Masters. Usually the result is that the controller of the destroyed gate will draw 1 card and gain 1 stock. It is debatable how much this bonus affects the game, but for the purpose of this analysis, it isn't too important. The fact of the matter is that this mechanic discourages attacking gates until it is absolutely necessary. Giving the opponent free material is always a bad thing. Seeing how this mechanic works, one would think that the game is encouraging players to try and eliminate all of the enemy gates in one turn. However, the maximum number of attacks in any given turn is 4. With 6 gates, this strategy isn't viable. The next best strategy would be to pick off 2 enemy gates and then wait to eliminate the other 4 in one swoop. The problem with this plan is that you must commit members to do this, leaving your material open to attacks from the enemy. When an attack is successful against a member, the defending member is placed in the controlling player's stock. This means that every member defeated is a minus 0.66 in material at least. So if a player tries to put members into play and starts picking off small amounts of gates, they will find themselves at a huge material disadvantage. The opposing player will simply use the material gained from the destroyed gate to eliminate their opponent's members. This means that the player that attempted to destroy gates will find themselves quickly overrun and at a major disadvantage. With how all these mechanics play off of each other, It's a bad idea to attack gates until it is possible to win. To be in a winning position, a player must attack enemy members. Assuming both players are familiar with these concepts, Luck and Logic has basically developed into a game of chicken. Neither player wishes to play a member, as doing so will put them at a disadvantage. This problem could have been easily fixed from the get-go by either allowing up to 6 attacks in the late game, or by having some gates be duds. Either of these fixes would encourage players to play more aggressive and risky. It would make the whole game flow better. The next topic I want to cover is the battle system. The battle phase is typically the most interesting and engaging aspect of a card game. The battle phase is when players can win or lose. It is also where the majority of the player interaction happens. Sadly, Luck and Logic made a crucial misstep when designing this phase. The attacker has an insane amount of priority and control over the defender. In Luck and Logic, the attacker gets to pick the attack target, wins ties, has the ability to play cards mid-battle to boost their power, just like the defender, and most importantly, gets to play the last card in combat. To better explain this, I have put up the example of a battle shown in the Quick Start Guide. As it is shown, the attacker will almost always have the ability to play the last card in combat. Being able to play the last card allows the attacker to play around the defender's plays and strategies. The main reason why this is such a big deal is because of the paradox mechanic in the game. By playing a paradox card in battle, a player can change the rules of the battle even at the last second. The attacker has such immense control over the defender, cutting down on interesting player interactions. An example of a similar yet better battle system can be found in Cardfight Vanguard. During the turn player's main phase, they may expend material powering up their cards as much as they want, using skills and other actions. When they attack, they declare the target. The defending player then gets the chance to use as much or as little material as they desire to stop the attack. They do this by discarding cards from the hand to increase their defending power. The defender can also decide that any given attack isn't worth committing the material to stop, and they may take the attack. Once it is the defending player's time to guard, the attacking player can no longer power up. This gives control to the defending player, allowing them to play around the attacking player. Giving the ability to the non-turn player to play around the attacking player's actions usually makes games far more interesting. In Luck and Logic, once the defending player plays a card to defend with, the attacking player is then allowed to play a card too. This means that not only does the attacking player get to power up during their main phase, but they are the ones who get to play around the defending player's actions. This makes the game feel incredibly one-sided. If you are attacking, you are winning. To give credit where credit is due, the massive attack priority does make it easier to eat through your opponent's members being used to guard gates. This makes it easier to win via gate destruction. The problem is that it can still be dangerous to break an enemy gate once you have cleared the card protecting it, as your opponent gains material and can make a comeback. Unless you are massively in the lead, it is very dangerous to attack a gate. As I said, the idea behind giving the attacker such a large advantage was to help the attacker clear enemy members and then hit the gates under them. However, the interaction of these mechanics sends mixed messages to the players and can cause frustratingly one-sided conflicts. That's all I wanted to talk about in regards to Luck and Logic's design. Did you enjoy this video? And would you like to see more like it? If so, please let me know in the comments below. I've been Speedrobo, and I'll see you later.